Hey Simlies, it's Deligracy here, and today I am building a bit of a different house for you guys. It is not a residential house, it is not a community lot, but it is like a holiday lot, a vacation lot. But in Australia we call them holidays, and it's a swamp build, so it's like a house over a swamp. And yes, recently there have been quite a few builders doing builds over water, like over pools and stuff, including James, my good friend, the Sim Supply. And I was looking at his build, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I think he did a houseboat, and I was like, I want to do something cool like that, but not blatantly copy him. So I decided, well, I've been playing Firewatch recently. I'm kind of inspired by that outdoorsy feel by the lookout tower that's kind of decrepit and scary looking and run down. So I was like, I'll do a swamp build. So that's what I'm doing. I'm using the greeny natural pool coloring from the Sims 4 Get Together. I don't believe the base game update got this color. I could be wrong. Could definitely be wrong, but I swear a few of you guys said that you never got it in the base game, which kind of sucks. Because I feel like all of the pool colors should definitely be free in the game. But hey, that's just my opinion. But really, this house, the aesthetic of it was basically to make it, as I said, look decrepit, run down, look like it was kind of built by someone who's not really that confident with building, but they kind of made do with the skills that they had and what materials they had. And so it's very like higgledy-piggledy, a little bit rough around the edges, old timber. It's definitely aged. And the inside was really, really fun because there's just stuff everywhere. It's like really junky, and I don't know, for a change, I just love it. I'm feeling quite refreshed as well, so I absolutely smashed out this build because I was just, yes, Sims, because I've been away for 5 nights to Queensland on the Gold Coast in Australia. Queensland, for those of you guys who are not familiar with Australia, is further north from Melbourne, where I live. So it's the further north you are in Australia, the warmer it is. So it's like heaps warmer than Melbourne. I was able to actually swim in the ocean a couple of times and go in for a quick dip. It was super nice, super refreshing. I was able to relax, and some of you guys knew my sleeping was a little bit out of whack. So now I'm back into my normal sleep cycle, which is really, really nice. And yeah, I was just excited to come back to some Sims, and also excited to play Firewatch 2. And yeah, I do like being back into, I don't know, I like being in routine. I like coming back to routine. It makes me feel, I don't know, good and organized and secure, I guess. But then again, of course, who doesn't love going to Queensland sometimes? So it was a great time. But anyways, so with this fencing, I was trying to figure out what fencing would kind of suit this. And really, it would have been perfect to have like thick log fencing around it, but we don't have that available in The Sims 4. So we kind of make do with some timber horizontal fencing mixed with some metal fencing as well. The idea with that, because some of you guys will be thinking, why is there like 2 different fences? Did she accidentally do that? No. It's very deliberate. The reason why I did that is because I wanted it to kind of look like the parts of the fences had been salvaged and found and then utilized in this build, like recycled. So yeah. I was also just on Skype to my friends James, Sim Supply, Critic Zeus, so Zeusy, and the Genie. If you guys have followed my channel closely, you'd probably know who those guys are because they're my good friends, and you guys probably all know James. But they wanted me to give them a shout out to my very good friends. So I'm giving a shout out to them. You can shout out in the comments to them as well because they promised they would watch this video. So hopefully they get to see your comments as well. And it's very, very special shout out to Genie too, because he's my main man. He's not boy Deligracy though, but he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. Anyways, so we are doing the roofing here. This roofing was fun because it's so irregular. It didn't have to be, it didn't have to be perfect. It didn't have to look like it was balanced or anything. So I just went to town doing different angles and just making it look like, maybe this first started off as a little box and bit by bit just rooms were added on and put on top and extended, and so the roofing's just kind of all over the joint. But it's still, I guess, balanced visually in a way. And there's also this tiny little stairwell that goes to the upstairs decking area, which I wish we had a small telescope to go up there, just like in Sims 3, 2, and 1. It's really weird how we don't have the normal small telescope in The Sims 4. I just feel like it is so necessary, and hopefully we get that soon. Also putting in some windows. And the windows are mismatched, of course. We're going to have mismatched windows, mismatched doors, I can't even say it, mismatched chairs. All of it, because we love that on Deligracy, don't we? If you guys watch my Sims 3 videos, I've always mismatched things. It's like, I really personally dislike symmetry, and I dislike perfect things. Like, I don't like aesthetics when they're perfect. It's really weird. I like odd numbers, so like odd things. And that's why in my builds, I just enjoy it when there's some, how do you say it? Irregularities. Oh gosh, I don't know. I'm going to I just quit now. I quit now, all right? I remember back in primary school when I had to do spelling tests. I was never bad at spelling by any means, but I used to really dislike them. I would always stress about knowing how to spell the words, and I'm so grateful I don't do that anymore. Oh, wow. All right, we're putting in some artist easels, and this whole place is really creative. There's a lot of creative skill building items such as the sculpting building table. There's several easels. We have also a chess set, which I guess isn't that creative, but we have guitars too, and like a lot of activities that you can play. We also put a bit of a bonfire in from the Sims 4 Get Together. And this place is going to be, we're actually going to move that bar from the outside indoors in a second. But this place is where you can go for a holiday to escape the world, and it's not meant to be luxurious. Maybe your Sims just come here just to zone out from their busy life or to escape some scandal, because that sounds more like what my Sims would do, because they're all scandalous in every Let's Play of recent times. And I don't know, it's just fun. It's just fun. So yeah, I'm also just grabbing out some random items right now to put inside just so I don't forget to use them. Sometimes I feel like it's easiest just to scroll through all of the junky clutter items and just pull them all out at once, put them inside, and then reposition them as I build. Because sometimes going back and scrolling through just becomes really repetitive and just takes longer. So I find it's quicker to do that sometimes. We're also making use of the space here next to the staircase. We're going to make use of that by turning it into a bathroom. The toilet's going to go in that long, narrow section, and it's going to sit at the foot of the staircase, obviously in the other room, because you don't want to walk down the stairs and be like, oh, hey, someone's on the toilet. And the other thing was I was struggling to find what wall lighting I wanted on this house. And I found that these were really cool. They're from The Sims 4 Get to Work. They were part of the more industrial, sciencey aesthetic of the pack in terms of build and buy items. And I just thought it actually went really quite nicely with the outdoor retreat items too, and the outdoor retreat world, because it looks very, very much like camping, fluorescent lighting that all the bugs would be attracted to. And that is totally the look we're going for. I also wanted to use the kitchen counters as a way to, I guess, separate, or what's the word? I use the counters to really direct the floor plan of this build. So this kitchen kind of sits in the center, and then on one side we have the bar, which we've just moved over. So there's going to be some bar stools over there. And on the other side is going to be where the dining area is, with some bar stools on that side. And I love that the fridge is like shoved in the corner. We're going to move it to Oh no, it stays in that corner when we move the windows. That's right. But I love how it's like shoved in the corner on an angle because that is so not how I would describe a nice, neat interior design. It's just like on an angle in the corner. It doesn't look that good, but it'll do. And I just think that's perfect for this build because this whole build is like, it'll do. It'll do. And it's just like the place you escape to where everything is not perfect. And I love that, except for the environment, which is what you're going to enjoy while you're here. I didn't actually play a test to this house. My concern is that the stovetop, which I've just moved slightly into the wall there, might just need to be moved back out onto the grid because I do have the move objects on sheet. But other than that, I think everything should work well. I don't think there should be any issues because we didn't do any split leveling or anything like that. But yeah. Hopefully it's fine. And we're also putting some stone wall texture behind certain parts of this build, like behind the sink here, which is also conveniently separate from the kitchen. Love that. And lots of clutter around it. I mean, there's like watering cans there. There's a box of just paper. There's just a random like arch thing over the sink as well, and I just like that. And there's also a lot of heavy curtains, which I'm so not a fan of heavy curtains. I know half of you guys love heavy curtains, and it's just lots of people love that, but for me, I'm like, give me a Holland blind. I just want to like simple, clean, out of my way. I don't want it to collect dust. So for this build, I wanted all the dust collecting curtains I could find. And yeah, it's just ultra cluttered. And I like how there's some grass there that when the roof is on, that's meant to like grow through the roof. Like the gutters haven't been cleaned for ages. And I mean, it's inside right now, but that'll actually be on the roof. And it just kind of adds to that overgrown, decrepit feel, which is pretty nice. We're going to be putting a lot of random paintings around too. These paintings I feel like were found from op shops, or I think in America you guys would call it thrift shops, and I just thought op shop paintings were perfect for this as well. Like they're just being collected. Everything in this house is secondhand and collected. It is just like a hoarder might come here or retreat here because they can just bask in all of their bits and bobs they've kept over the years and just enjoy those memories. And I thought the keys were perfect here as well. There's something about a key object that I just love. I love keys. I love old keys, and I feel like they just, I know I sound like a total weirdo with like a weird key fetish, but I love a good old key. I think if you want to be like imaginative, they just seem like they'd fit into a storyline and be like open up to a magical world and stuff like that. And I don't know, I just love key objects. What's your favorite object? Like, do you love a good bathtub? You just love a bathtub. Or my thing's old keys. I don't collect them though, but I just like them. But I'd love to know what your thing is. That would be cool. And for diagonal walls, bookshelves often work really well just to fix up that space. A lot of objects don't work well with diagonal walls. Pardon me. And of course, we had to make one of the bookshelves a little bit different because that's what we do. We like to mix them up a little bit. And putting a few different rugs down as well because, hey, you're going to get cold tootsies if you don't have some rugs around the joint. And this place, nothing's ever going to match. I was also thinking a little bit about the hermit who lives in the secret world. Which secret world is it? Oh, I've had a memory blank. The hermit's house. One of the secret worlds in The Sims 4, there's the hermit, who's this NPC sim who lives in this house, and this house was kind of inspired by the hermit as well. Gosh, I've got a bit of a nasty cough for some reason. I don't know, I guess I was in such warm weather and now I've come to cold weather in Melbourne, so I'm like, it's so cold. And really, compared to most of you guys who probably live, or a lot of you guys who live in cooler climates. For me, right now at nighttime, at like 9 o'clock at night, it's probably 5 degrees Celsius. And for me, I'm like, it's so cold. And it'll probably never get below 3 degrees or 2 degrees, maybe 1 degree in Melbourne, like early in the morning. But really, you guys, some of you guys are used to like -20, -30. I'm like, holy moly. Do you guys even go outside when it's that cold? Like, how? I just could not, I cannot, I mean, I could deal, but I've never experienced. I've never experienced super duper, actually super cold weather. This is the bathroom. We've only got one bathroom in this house. We've also got one bedroom, but because this house has a lot of decking, you could always expand onto the decking, or you could also just add extra parts onto it. I mean, it's very easy to renovate. If you want to start with a single loner sim in this house and maybe they meet their lover and then their lover moves in and they like renovate the house and make some country family. Although because it's a vacation house, you'd have to put it in a different world for it to be residential, I think. But I mean, that can work. It's on the gallery under my user Deligracy. So just search Deligracy and it'll be up there. It's called the Swamp Abode, I think, or the Swamp Sanctuary? Swamp something. You'll find it. And yeah, I don't know. It's available for download. And I actually have to put up the new Dine Out renovation. A lot of you guys have been asking for that, so I need to upload that stat. We've got a lot of drawings and paintings for all of the walls in this build because, well, this is a very artsy house. And I love the sunflowers because the sunflowers just seem to go so perfectly with artwork, because sunflowers in that kind of old-fashioned vase is one of the most popular things in old paintings, like one of the most popular subjects. There's so many sunflower paintings in history, and I don't know, I just, whenever in The Sims there's like paintings around, I'm like, okay, where's the sunflower vase? That is necessary. I don't want to have two pot plants next to each other, so we quickly get rid of that. And what do we put behind the chair? I think we just put some boxes or something rando. Or maybe we don't put anything. And also love that metal sailing wall art. I think that's really cool, the boat. So we just add more found things. And, we put the candelabra there. That's right. That's a good space filler, actually, the candelabras. And then we're going to put a bit of a mirror here so your Sims can use that as well. But it's pretty much got everything you need. Bathroom, fridge, bed, barbecue area, plenty of skill building activities. Yeah, I think it's got your Sims covered. I think so, and easy to expand. What more could you want? I mean, really. And then up the top here, we just have the woodworking bench, another easel, and some plant pots too, so Sim can do a bit of gardening. Anyways, here are the screenshots. I liked how this had a bit of a lens flare from the sun coming in. But yeah, basically you can see that it's all on stilts coming up from the swamp. It's a very angular build, so it's just, as I said, higgledy-piggledy. It's a little bit, it reminds me of slightly, ever so slightly, of the burrow from Harry Potter. And it's just, I don't know. Just let me know what you think of this in the comments down below. And I've been loving some of your build requests on Twitter recently. I've been asking what kind of builds to do, and some of you guys have had such good ideas. I've been saving photos to my phone and writing them down. So yeah, thank you so much for your help and ideas. And I'm just looking forward to the next build, to be honest. But yeah, this is just the outdoor area. It's definitely a mix of stuff packs, and I know you guys have been asking for a base game build. I know I have to do that, but I love using as much as I can. I love using all the content, but I realize it's difficult for you guys to download when, very understandably, most people don't have all of the stuff in game packs, so I'll try and do that soon. I'll try my best in this little bar area. If you feel like a cheeky whiskey, or some schnapps. I don't know. What do you drink when you're like out in a weird cabin thing? Oh, I should call it the swamp cabin. That's a good name. I might actually change it to that. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad to be back from Queensland, and I hope you are having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are in the world. I'll speak to you soon.